We have done it. We remain in the Premier League. Up the Villa. So here he is, Ryan. What you got to say?
I'm drunk. Right, what a relief. What an absolute relief, mate. Emotionally shattered, mate. To be honest, I've never been one too keen to celebrate a survival, mate. I've seen Roy Keane's comments in his face, and I sort of agree with it, but I think with this pandemic, mate, and what we've all been through as a human race, and to come out and start playing football again with no fans, the gaffer lost his old man, and to come and do what we've done is fantastic, absolutely fantastic, mate, and brilliant.
I just think it's like, I get what Roy Keane's saying as well, but how difficult has it been for us as a fan base to watch? For the players, how difficult it's been at times. We just deserve that. I think, we deserve that chance to celebrate, because it's just the emotion, isn't it? Like you say, for Dean Smith, what he's been through, the pressure he's been under from the start, never managed in this league before. We've been struggling. He's had to find different ways. He's lost his dad. We've had this break. It's just been so difficult, and to be fair, I'm very positive all the time. You're super, super optimistic. I'd say more so than me. Just in the same, it's just been so up and down, and I can't put it into words how I feel we've done it, or how I feel at the minute. I'm just super, super buzzing. So let's just talk about the game a little bit today. How did you find it?
It was a bit of a blur, really, to be honest, mate. He was looking at other results and seeing how other people were getting on, and then Bournemouth, the pressure of Bournemouth winning was there all the way through.
Yeah.
I think that's what made it more tense than what it was. If I try and think back to the game, it was a bit drab, really, wasn't it? The first half, we weren't very good, really. Yeah. Second half, we come out with a bit more about us, and then when Jack got that goal,
mate, I was outside. I was breathing like a girl.
Even the next door neighbour had a look and knocked on the window. You're all right, mate. Sorry, mate. Do you know what's going on?
Yeah.
But So, and then it's just typical Villa, isn't it? And I don't think, however long I live now, I don't think there'd be a moment where I won't say that's just typical Villa. It's just see out the last couple of minutes, and then we go and give that free goal away. It's come off Grealish's studs, mate. It's looped over, and I'm thinking, oh my God, here we go. We just can't do things easily, can we? We had that 7 minutes added on time last season in the playoffs. It's just never easy, mate. But we've come through it, and we're Premier League.
Definitely. I think it's mad as well that the three that have got relegated were the three that got promoted when Bournemouth got promoted. That's weird.
Yeah.
That's so weird. But I just think, like I said to you, because Ryan's got a new haircut, by the way, courtesy of myself.
Looking good, isn't it?
I was saying to you the other day that after this, we need a break now. We need to just chill out for 5.
Yeah,
so that's what I'm looking forward to. But when we were 7 points away, even I didn't see us surviving.
You know what, mate? We've known each other a few years, haven't we? You've cut my hair for a good few years now, and this is just our natural conversation.
Yeah.
You never asked me to come on the podcast and go, okay, Ryan, come on and beat the positivity drum.
Yeah.
This is just natural to us, and for me, it's just in my blood, mate. I have to believe. Maybe Villa's broke my heart that many times that it's broken, mate. It's bust. But how my mind works, mate. If we was playing Barcelona, right, and I was standing in the whole end, I'd be thinking to myself, right, if we get an early goal, we can win this. We can win it. And that is how my mind works every time. And all the way through this, I've just been looking at the league table and the fixtures going, right, if Southampton can beat Bournemouth, if Watford lose 4-5-0 to Man City, if we can beat Arsenal, and that is just me naturally, mate. That's in my DNA, and I won't give up, and that makes these days more sweeter.
But it's the positivity that's been needed, really. And we said before, like, I can't be one of these fans that are too negative all the time, and would prepare for the worst just so that they don't get let down when it happens. I'd rather get so high myself and then let them let me get down. But it's just been a mad season, and now I haven't really got nothing to talk about, really.
It's just like
we stayed
an emotional outpour
podcast.
It is literally like you're speechless, and it's just like such a relief, and it's just like,
But to now switch our focus now and to think like Aston Villa, to think of a team that is going to aim for the top half of the table. That's what I want to see now.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to sitting down with you, dissecting this season, and then looking forward to next season, because I think exciting times ahead, I think. Definitely.
So if you had to sum up a few words how you're feeling right now, what would they be?
I don't know, mate. just drunk, like I opened it, mate. I'm so happy, speechless, mate, absolutely speechless. And mate, we sat through some terrible results, haven't we? We sat there and watched us get pummeled 4-0 at Leicester. We sat in the old end and watched us get six past us by Man City. And you have to sit there and take it. There's no good walking out at half time. No good walking out when you're 2-0 down at Southampton at half time. You've got to sit there. You've got to take it. And that makes these days much more sweeter, mate, because you've been through all that heartache. And, we celebrate tonight. We celebrate. Definitely. We look forward to hopefully exciting times.
Cheers.
Up the Villa, mate.
Up the Villa. I'll speak to you soon.
Yes, mate. Cheers,
mate. Sev, we've done it. Can you believe it?
I opened the podcast with this last time, and I'm going to fucking open it with it again. Okay, you're going to have to bleep most of this podcast out because I can't contain what I say. But, okay, right. Before we even start, okay, let's crack open the beer once again. Yeah, you've got it this time. It's not just me. Cheers.
Cheers.
What a fucking result. Okay, what? Right. Okay, I'm gonna have to try and contain all my emotions and let them out freely with how I'm feeling. Okay, and not let me get too ahead of myself. Right. If you'd have said to me at the start of this season we would get to a cup final and finish 17th, I would have snapped your hand off. Okay. Although we might look back on this season and think it's not been the greatest of seasons, there's been lows, there's been highs, but the lows have been really low. Okay, that just makes up for it. That makes the highs even fucking higher.
Yeah.
Okay. I just love seeing this football club come together as one when we win. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm slightly pissed. Just let it be. Yeah, we've survived on the last day. Okay, maybe I wouldn't want it to go to the last day.
No.
I would have probably liked it to be safe quite a few weeks ago. But the fact that we have spent over 150 million, but we had to buy a whole new squad.
Yeah.
In the end, we ended up only spending about 9.5 million on each player. Sorry, I'm going to have to put my phone on rear because I'm getting notification after notification here. So in the end, each player is only worth about 9.5 million. So we didn't actually spend that much on bringing a team together. So the fact that we've stayed up with our team, and not only that, we've sent maybe arguably two established Premier League teams down in Bournemouth and Watford, is a credit to the club. And now we can push on. Now we can elevate ourselves forward. With a successful summer, who knows where this club can go?
Totally with you now. I've said it to Justin that I saw that Perslow, Suso and Smith are getting together tomorrow. That chat has got to be about the vision and the direction that this club is going to go. Not whether it might go or whatever. It has to go in that direction. And I'm excited for it. I think summer last season we were buzzing that we got promoted, and it was, we just didn't know what to expect. But I feel like now going into the next season, we've got to aim higher. We've got to recruit the type of players that we need, the quality that we need. I don't want to see 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players coming in. I want 4 very, very good ones coming in, which are game changers. Yeah, they're the quality that we don't give Keenan Davis 6 chances and he doesn't score any of them. Do you see what I'm trying to say? We need the clean
100%.
players.
Yeah, look, we've spoken on Messenger off the podcast privately about just how we need to bring, like you said, the quality into this football club to bring ourselves forward, to elevate ourselves forward, where we're not going, oh, look at that missed chance, look at that missed chance. We have to look at ourselves now and think, what could push us higher up the league? And obviously, I'm not going to go too deep into it because we've got the whole of pre-season to talk about that. And today is about celebrating and celebrating only, because what we've achieved today is fantastic. Whether we underperform this season, whether we weren't really good enough, at the end of the day, we're still a Premier League club, and we will be a Premier League club next season by whatever, whoever, however bad the teams below us were. But we have to push on now. And look, I think the names being bandied around in our DMs are sort of Saeed Benrahma, John Swift, Eze, the type of players that can really come into this squad and they won't sort of take a while to get into and have to compete with people. I think we almost need to bring players in that are going to go straight into that starting 11 and accelerate us instead of having to take time to see them grow. A bit like Esri Konsa, fantastic footballer, and I'm so glad he's at this football club. But we've got them sort of players now. I want to see them sort of players where we don't have to wait a year to see them grow and mature into the player we want. I want to see us bring in a player now where they've matured and they're good enough to play for this football club in the Premier League with Aston Villa, and they want to fight for the shirt.
Definitely. So let's just talk about our journey on this podcast then. So 10 games ago, this podcast was started and we had it all to do. And most of us, we have had episodes where we've been slightly negative, Seb, but we've stayed positive and we have achieved it. And I just can't believe that. I can't believe the turnaround, to be honest. I think it's just brilliant, to be fair. And I think Dean Smith, the last 4 games, has impressed me a lot, the way he's performed. How calm he's been. Like, there's been no panic. And you can imagine the lads in the dressing room just weren't panicking either. I was panicking after that first half performance today.
We all were.
I mean,
Oh no!
What was that?
I had the game on the telly today, and I had the Bournemouth game on my iPad, and I had the Watford game on my laptop, and I was shitting myself. Okay, no word of a lie. I was sat there and I was thinking, "Oh fucking hell, here we go." I'm really sorry because most of this podcast is going to end up being censored out, but it's just. I'm so unbelievably happy and grateful that I can share this journey, not only with you, but with Villa fans everywhere. Obviously, would have liked to be in the stadium, and being at the London Stadium today would have been just something else.
Yeah.
But now we can look forward to heading back to Villa Park, filling out that whole tent as a Premier League club again, which is so much more important than anything going on now. Obviously, the safety of everyone is of vital importance now. But as soon as it's safe enough to get back together and sing as one inside Villa Park is going to be a special, special occasion.
I'm totally with you, but it's how much of a journey has this season been, though?
Yeah, well,
It's
yeah.
like-
I mean, Pepe Reina said it himself. Sorry to put you out. Pepe Reina said it himself. He said, look, 2 weeks ago, we were 7 points adrift. How we've managed to escape is nothing short of a miracle. Okay? I'm really sorry. I'm all over the place, but I don't care. I don't care. We're safe. What was I saying? Miracle. Yes, we managed to make up that 7 points, and we managed to get it back into our own hands again. I said it last week. The fact that we managed to get it back into our own hands is just crazy. And the fact that we, obviously a point ended up being enough. But when Bournemouth went 3-1 up and I saw Watford had scored a second, I was thinking, here we go. Troy Deeney's going to send us down. Brilliant. That's what I like to see. But no, to Troy Deeney, to the official HRH, actually, I have to give credit to HRH because he's had our fans on strings for 9-10 months, and he's taken it really well, because I saw today he was going to donate to Acorns Hospice. Obviously, Acorns is a brilliant, brilliant charity, so it's going to a great cause. Anyone that said we're doing a Fulham, anyone that said we're going straight back down, anyone that doubted us, you can go and shove it up your arsehole. Again, I keep forgetting. You're going to have to censor it out. I'm sorry.
I'm going to keep it in. I'm going to keep it in. Adds to the emotion. But I think that HRH guy, I feel like he's now got his mates coming up, though. So he can turn his attention to his friends, obviously, to their bigger rivalry now. So he can leave us alone for a little bit, I hope. So, he can move on from us now, which will be good. So sum up your emotions then of today.
Proud, ecstatic. I don't know. I think people watching this will probably gather what my emotions are. I'm probably too pissed to tell you.
Yeah.
It's unprofessional, but it's last game of the season. We stayed up. Who can blame me? I'm sure everyone else is the same.
Yeah, it's for us though. It's been like such a journey in the last season, the last 10 games. We've had to base our chances on hope, mostly, whether we can do it.
Well, I sat here with you for a good half hour, 45 minutes, going over what we needed for when we go down, what we needed to come back up to the Premier League. I'm sure I've spent on total about an hour and a half just talking about how we're going down, when we're going down, how I've accepted it. And Aston Villa can never, ever do it the easy way. Okay? I'm sure we can agree that now. We can never do it the easy way. It has to be the hard way. 3 years in a row, and in 3 years in a row, we've relied on 90 minutes of football to decide our fate in which league we're going to be in. And 2 out of those 3 years has ended in a success. So we're on the right track. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, because there's still a long way to go. There's still a long summer ahead. And, I heard rumours of Sturridge joining. And if that happens, then we could be pulled straight back to earth very quickly. But, excuse me. We're on the right track. As long as we keep going on that track and the owners understand that Smith needs full transfer responsibility, who knows where Dean Smith could take us? Because I sat here and I was one of them who was going, you know what? Maybe we do need a change. And credit to him, he has come here and shut me up. He has come and completely proved me wrong. Because obviously I never wanted him out, and I never said that I wanted him out. But I was slowly getting switched because our performances were so dire. But he used the lockdown to perfect use, and we came back a much stronger team. And I saw Roy Keane on Sky Sports saying, how dare they celebrate in the changing room? They haven't won anything. Roy Keane doesn't know what he's talking about, okay? Yeah, first of all, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm more intelligent than Roy Keane at football, because I'm not. But, you know, you've got to let them celebrate, just like you've got to let our fans celebrate. Because today, at the end of the day, is an achievement. Okay, anything short of it would have been a huge disappointment, travesty, whatever you want to call it. But what we've achieved over the course of the season, when you look back at it, cup final, we've stayed up. Obviously, now we can build on that. That is something to celebrate. Definitely. That is something to celebrate. And I'm... Go on.
I think this has probably been one of the hardest seasons I've had to watch Villa. In my time of being a fan, it's been totally backs to the wall. It's been difficult football. And to say that we were 7 points adrift, say 5 games ago, to stay up, I feel like as a fan base, we deserve to celebrate, because at the end of the day, it's fine margins and we've stayed up by a point. Now, that has been torture for us to watch. So we all deserve a drink. We all deserve to, feel really happy that we stayed up, but also now to turn our attention to climbing that table next season and becoming an established Premier League club. Again, in the right part of the table.
Yeah, 100%.
This was the most difficult season to survive on what we did in the transfer window. But now we've just got to go again and climb it and get back to where we belong.
Yeah, 100%. I completely agree. I mean, I'm sure everyone's feeling the same at the moment. That 90 minutes, was pure hell. Okay, when Jack Grealish scored, ecstatic scenes everywhere. Okay, less than 60 seconds later, as a Villa fan, we're brought straight back down to earth. But
even game management, though, we took it to that corner, and McGinn weren't moving from that corner, was he? He
dear,
his body on that line in that corner.
Yeah,
no matter what.
Yeah. No, I'm really sorry. I don't know what to say.
No,
I've just got nothing. My head's empty. I'm just spinning at the moment. I've just got visions in my head of Pepe Reina with a beer in his hand in the changing room. What an achievement.
Anyway, mate, up the Villa.
Up the fucking Villa.
I'll speak to you soon.
Yeah, in a bit.
Thank you. So on our first call of the night, Justin. Cheers, mate.
Up the Villa. Up the Villa. I won't swear. I feel like swearing. I feel like crying. I feel like, geez.
Oh, what a day. I think the hardest part for me was the 4 o'clock kickoff to start with.
Yeah, fortunately, I was at work.
Was you?
Yeah, I was working. Working was shut at 4, so I got everything ready to go and managed to get the first half on the radio on the way back and sort of kept up to date with everything, and then got back for the second half. So
what a day. Nerves been all over the place, really. So may as well, how are you feeling about it all now then?
Brilliant. I mean, it's what we all wanted, didn't we? I think I've said it a few times, I didn't fear going down, because it's, we're still going to be a football club. We're still going to be able to go, and as fan base, we just want to go and watch the Villa. But for obvious reasons, staying up is massive, especially second season. It's so hard to come up and stay up. So staying up in your first season back, means that now we can kick off. And probably the biggest thing now that happens is we decide who stays and who goes, with probably the exception of Jack, but we'll come on to that, I suppose, at a later date, maybe in even a later podcast. But at the moment, it's everything's in Villa's hands now. That's what it's given us. It's given us the power back. All the players, if we'd have gone down, all of a sudden you get players knocking on the door. Okay, I want to go now. I want to go. I want to play in the Premier League. It doesn't now. We just go, okay, we've got the power. We can decide who we want to keep, who we want to let go. And the money, obviously the money's huge. I'm chuffed for the owners, they took a huge gamble. At the time, taking us on, in the state we was in, 10, 12 years of terrible ownership, terrible managers, terrible players. At my age, I'm 44 and you're a bit younger than me, it's the worst 10 years I've ever seen, really, as at the Villa. And for Dean for them to come in and take us over like they did, and for last season to happen like it did, and to come up like we did, we probably did. Even I still would say we came up too soon. As the season's proved, and in a way that the lockdown has helped us, because we've come back and it's almost been like our second season, and that's exactly how it's played out. Now we can look back now and we can say that, can't we?
Yeah, I think we all said this at the start of these podcasts, because we started them as soon as we came back, basically, that this was like our second season. And the contrast from now to before that lockdown happened, it's massive. And we have played really well since coming back, and we're both very positive fans. Ryan, that comes on, is very, very positive. And I think the belief that we had was just brilliant, really. And like you say, a couple of games ago, it was looking like it was on the cards to be relegated, but the turnaround and the belief has just been brilliant, and I think it can only set us up well for the future now. And I think, like you were alluding to, it sets the club up a lot better now. We are now we are semi-established now. We've had our first season, we've stayed up. Let's build now. And let's never look down, and just keep looking up that table now, because I can't do that ever again.
No, we don't want to go through that again, and hopefully this will give us that platform now, like I say, to kick on to obviously mid-table and now that's where we've got to be looking. Yeah, on the players, I mean, we've come back and we have just got better and better every game. And I said this, I think, the Arsenal game on Tuesday, watching that game was like watching two teams very even now, and that's all we want. When we came up, although we had a decent enough little start, in many games we just looked out of our depths. We looked like we had a squad and a first 11 of players that just didn't look up to it. Whether it was mentality or ability wise, a lot of them took a lot of stick. But the last two games, especially, we probably wasn't our very, very best today, but we was good enough to get the result.
No, we was probably glad you missed the first half, because I didn't think it was very good at all, to be honest. And then when Everton went 2-1 down, I was thinking we had half time as well. It was terrible.
Yeah, I think it's a very, very, it's a weird thing, isn't it? Being in this situation, I think I remember a very long time ago we went away to Norwich on the last game of the season, and we needed another result to go away. We just spent the whole time in the stands listening to the radio. I think it was Newcastle off the top of my head. We needed them to lose, and I think they did. But yeah, it's weird, because as a manager and as a sort of coaching group, how do you attack it? I think they did the right thing. I think you haven't got to go gung-ho. We've got to carry on the momentum that we've picked up in the last few weeks. But I think it's important to not to sit back. And I don't think we did sit back. We were just careful and measured.
Yeah.
I think we didn't overcommit. We didn't we didn't have to chase the game. And I always felt that Watford would get beat at Arsenal, although it was a bit tighter than we would have all wanted at the end. And I always sort of felt as well that Bournemouth would get a result. So that extra point has really been the difference, And I know I've already started seeing it. All the moaners out saying, "No, if that, not Villa fans, but all if it wasn't for that VAR, the goal line technology, that would have been down." But I've just looked on my phone, and that I still look back at that Palace goal that wasn't allowed. It's pathetic,
Yeah,
one of the most
one anyway.
So that would have been a point, Forget all the other points that that VAR have robbed us. Just that 1 point alone. If they're going to say that 1 point, which That's what we had lost 1 point had that a goal given. But we should have, that was 100%. A minute to go at Palace away, and we scored a perfectly good goal, and we still don't know to this day why it was disallowed. No. So, quite frankly, sod everyone that thinks that we don't deserve to start. We deserve to start. We are a Premier League team, and that's what we are. That's what we are. We all know we're a Premier League team. We haven't acted like one for a long time. That's not the fans' fault. It's not really the players' fault. It's the ownership fault.
Well, I read something that apparently that there was going to be a meeting tomorrow with Smith, Suso, and Purslow about the direction that we're going to be going in, and for me this time, I just hope they back it all up. Whatever they come out and say, it's totally backed up this time. No false promises on how we're going to play. It's just the vision and stick at it. One thing I want to say definitely is Dean Smith. I think he's come into his own the last couple of games as well. The way he's reacted, I think he's been brilliant, and I think he's been so calm as well, which I guess the players probably needed and they thrived under. So, we know he's had a difficult year as well with his personal life, but I just want to say hats off to him because he's got the job done, hasn't he?
Yeah, 100%. He like we've said, for the post-lockdown as well, he has got better as well as a manager. And I think, the pre-match sort of build-up, they did a lot on the Villa's defensive work, and ultimately that's what's kept us up in these 10 games. Defence, we haven't ever looked like scoring many goals. So I think they looked during the lockdown at how do we get points, and you get points by keeping clean sheets. The greatest of the Arsenal teams that he used to say, you win 1-0 to the Arsenal was the old thing, wasn't it? You keep clean sheets, you score one goal, you win the game. You don't need one goal to win a game if you've got a decent back four, and that's what they've worked on. So that's Smith, 100% Smith. I know Terry gets, a lot of credit when you got Joe Cole and the like on. They all like to sort of give him the big one. But it is all down to Smith. And as far as I'm concerned with the owners now, they've got a pretty simple decision now to make. It's just how much do we spend in the transfer window? How much do we back Dean Smith? 1,000,000%, he can't be let go now. What's the point in him improving and doing what he's done for them just to turn around and say thanks? It's just not going to happen. It would be a travesty for that to happen. And I can't, not for the life of me, that I don't think that'll happen. They've possibly got a bit of a decision to make on the suit for how they feel about how he's sort of performed, but that's not for us to decide, I suppose. But ultimately, it's about player recruitment again now. And like I said at the start, we're in a position where we decide who goes and we decide who comes, and we haven't got to go out and buy 14 players again. No. The Jack thing, hopefully, whatever happens, will be decided very quickly. We don't want the next 6 weeks to be dominated by Willie Wonty. If he's going to go, none of us want him to go, but just do it quickly. What's the point? Rip the plaster off, do it, get the money, and then we can build for next season. That's the way it's got to be. I hope there's still a small chance he might stay. Being in the Premier League and such a weird little change over to next season, it might. I don't know. We're just guessing. I wouldn't begrudge him a move to a Champions League club now. Because of what he's done. It won't be easy to let him go. It'll be gutting to see him go, but whatever will be. But ultimately, whether he stays or goes, Villa are a Premier League side, and we're going to be around for a long time.
Definitely. So to summarise, give me a few words on how you're feeling.
Absolutely ecstatic, cousin. I put a video on Twitter. My daughter videoed me when the final whistle went, and I was blubbing like a little baby. My one daughter said, "I think he's died." I was that up excited when we scored. I was so buzzing, and then they equalised straight away. I was thinking we're going to have a nice 5 minutes now, and then they equalised straight away, and it was an excruciating 4 minutes plus 4 minutes of injury time. But I've got to say, I think they managed the 4 minutes of injury time very, very well. It wasn't stressful.
No.
We kept it very, very tight in that corner, and then when the final whistle went, I couldn't speak. I mean, nothing come out of my mouth. My eyes bloody welled up, and I was on the floor. But that's what Villa does for you. We all love this club. That's what we're all here for. It's a community. It's a wonderful club. It always has been, and it always will be. I just hope now this is the platform after 10, 12 years of horrible time being a Villa fan, that we can all now kick on and really enjoy the next few years of our rise back to where we 100% belong to be, which is in the top half minimum and more than likely the top 6 of the Premier League, because that's where we should be.
Definitely. So back where we belong, Justin. That's where we were anyway, but up the Villa.
Yes, we believe, mate, all the way through, and I've spoke to you for many years in Sutton, and we've always been very positive, and you're a good kid, Luke, and I love talking to you, and we love this club, and thanks for doing this, mate.
Cheers, mate.
I'll have a drink to you and to everyone tonight watching this. Up the Villa.
Up the Villa, mate. Thanks, Justin.